Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
Sometimes you just gotta breathe, man. I do this thing where I do it at work a lot when I'm training.
You're just so focused on not going, hello, welcome back to the...
When I train people at work, I talk too much and not breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I just need to think about my breathing when I'm talking.
I just imagine getting hugged by like some new employee being like, it's okay. It's okay, Josh.
I fucking hope they don't touch me. But, yeah, welcome back. If you like the show, share it with a friend. If you like the show, subscribe. Yeah, just do those things.
We're still working out the kinks.
That was the first time I've consciously said that. We don't have a beer sponsor today. Today we're drinking Sol. It is
I mean sun in Spanish.
Very good. It's a Spanish cerveza.
That means beer in Spanish.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and distribute.
Woo!
And I've never had Sol before.
You've never had Sol before?
No, it's not a twist off. I can confirm.
It's not an American beer. It's a light cap though.
Light cap. It has a nice label.
Comes on pretty easy. Oh man, I can hit the light pole with precision every time, but I still can't make the fucking trash can.
Oh, that's hard. So today's let's do our cheers. Let's get our taste test going, then I'll get into the B now.
It's okay. I mean, I've had it before. It's like a little...
It's my new favorite Mexican beer.
It's a little better than Corona.
It's my new favorite Mexican beer.
Really?
I like it over
Tastes
Modelo.
dusty.
I like it over Corona, Pacifico. I think it's the best.
Got a dusty aftertaste.
I like it. I enjoy it. This is a nice beer on a nice hot day.
It is fucking hot. It's 102.
In Moore Park. Here
Moore
it's
Park.
probably like 89, 90. It's not that bad. I am sweaty, but I think about doing something and I start to sweat. So me sweating isn't a very good indicator of heat. And that is not the B now. The B now today, this is a long one. This may be commonly known to some people who like space documentaries.
I like space documentaries.
But space partly smells like diesel fuel and barbecue. This is mainly due to the amount of dying stars in our galaxy. The combustion releases a compound called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So if you ever get the chance to go into space, it smells like diesel fuel.
Take off your mask and just give it a whiff.
Well, like if you go on like a spacewalk, you can smell your suit afterward.
Fair enough.
And if it smells like diesel fuel, which smells amazing, and barbecue,
or just like barbecue ribs, you're like, oh my god, I miss home. Oh, what day is it today? Space doesn't have days. Oh, I wanted to be the 4th of July today, so we get barbecue. I'd be that astronaut up there. I'd be like, man, I would kill for some ribs right now. And everyone's just like, well, we have toothpaste for food, so. And then I'd kill someone on the space station.
They could develop a system where you could grill real foods and just have like smoke.
You'd have to figure that out. It'd take up a lot of oxygen with the flame.
Yeah, you need to replace the oxygen.
Yeah.
So, Elon Musk, get on that or something.
Yeah, that's why I'm sure that's why they don't do that. They're trying to colonize Mars first.
That's why they eat shitty food.
Yeah, as soon as they colonize Mars, they'll get that all sorted out. But until then, it ain't happening, brother.
Rest in peace, people who are astronauts and go to the ISS.
What does B now stand for again? I forget.
Bi-weekly nugget of knowledge.
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly is just one word, so that's the B. Nugget and
of knowledge.
Okay.
Knock. That's what I was like running that through my head. I was like, what's the W come from?
God. Wisdom. There we go.
Nice save. Stuck the landing.
I ruined my
bi-weekly nugget of wisdom
acronym.
B now.
I was so confident with it too. Just like K, W. Knowledge.
Fuck!
Knowledge. Knowledge starts with a W.
It has a W in it.
It does.
That's halfway there, homie.
That's probably why I went with it, but I can change it now to wisdom. So it can still be a B now.
Like I said, we're still ironing it out. And it still kind of sounds like you're saying butthole all the time. And today's B now.
How did that does not
Jessica Alba's B now. You guys see Britney Spears B now on TMZ? Yeah, that was a big B now.
Like a slang term for it.
Yeah, that's a butthole. That's a wet sopping butthole.
It's a dirty derogatory term for butthole.
Jesus.
The bean.
Yeah, man, I played this game of Call of Duty and my B now pushed in. Yeah, my uncle played with my B now.
Shouts out to your B now. So today is Wednesday. Did you do anything yesterday on Tuesday?
Yes, I actually had lunch with Oscar. We got some seafood at Spencer McKenzie's. We got fish and chips, and then he's like, it's Tuesday, so I got to get some tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Every Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. So then he got us a round of fucking the fish tacos, and they were really bomb. And then I had a meeting with Lyndon. We're about to make some moves coming up. I'll go ahead and say it now, actually. It's him and I are going to go to lunch on Saturday at the clubhouse, and we're going to go talk to Matt and everyone there.
Nice.
And we're going to see if we could do like a live show with like, because I know Matt does stand-up comedy, so we could do like, he gets like a 10-minute set, we give a guitarist a few songs, and then if he has comedian friends, he'll bring
Like a local arts thing.
yeah. And then we were kind of trying to figure out how to do it for like COVID, so we're thinking about like on their
patio setup.
Yeah, well, it'll have to be on the patio, but it will maybe do like a percentage of tips or anything will get donated to some sort of charity or to some COVID research or whatever we could find. That's not my realm. That's Lyndon's in charge of all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be really cool because if we can really get something together, you know, just put on a live show and do it outside properly. We've done a few already, but I'd love to do one locally, especially in Camarillo especially for Clubhouse, you know, for those guys. Those good guys. So be on the lookout for that. We have it in planning, and then we have a few venues on backup if they don't want to go through with it, which is cool. But we're definitely trying to make some moves right now, just get some more live events going. And then
That's awesome.
That was my Tuesday. Yeah.
Definitely with like the kind of people who do go to Clubhouse, I don't think offering % money to COVID research would be a good idea.
Yeah, it's a super Republican place.
They definitely don't believe in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm just saying we got to figure it out.
Lyndon, probably don't go.
Probably
anything
don't.
COVID.
Probably
like
don't
that.
go head first in the whole COVID thing. But
think of something different.
You know, like a battered women. No, they probably are the ones who batter their wives anyway.
Veterans.
So. Veterans. They love veterans.
Veterans are really big in Camarillo. California.
California, me now.
Calamarillo.
Calamarillo. Are you fucking having a stroke?
I wanted to say Camarillo, but I started to say California.
Bippity, what's the godmother? Kalamazoo, hippity bippity boppity boo, or whatever. Like,
bippity boppity.
It sounded like you were doing that, but like unintentionally. There was a demon inside you casting a spell.
Don't give away my cover. Sorry, man. Camarillo is a very, very like conservative, religious kind of thing going on. So
do they? I mean, what was the? I've been seeing a lot of my friends on their stories. They post like pictures of people holding up Trump flags and shit on like freeway overpasses, and I've never seen anyone who's 40 or 50 outside and hanging out on a freeway overpass like that before. Have you seen any of that? I heard it was in Camarillo.
I don't go outside. The only places I don't go outside. The only places I go are work and home.
That's definitely not outside either of those locations.
Exactly. So my time spent outside is commuting.
Very small.
It's driving, or if I'm getting food, and I didn't have it delivered.
And I'm saying, did you see anyone holding up?
I haven't been on a freeway since I went to Ryan's house.
Really? Oh yeah,
Sunday.
You're all back roads. You're right here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm super local.
That's true.
So I don't have to take a freeway.
What'd you do on Tuesday?
I took calculus, got my basic concepts, kind of tuned out. Shouldn't have done that, but I got the basic concepts. They're written down. I went to work. Okay, so on Monday, Oscar.
Okay, so hang on. Here's where this all starts.
On Monday, we got dinner with Oscar. He was in town. Hi, Oscar. Then we came back here, had some drinks, hung out, They left at midnight, like 12:30ish. And I was like, cool, we can get breakfast. And then Ryan was like, oh, I have to work. And I was like, too bad. I'm like, let's get food after my class. They didn't. They got lunch instead without me while I'm at work.
He sounds butthurt. Doesn't he sound butthurt?
Because it was my idea to get food.
You're not the first person to invent eating when you wake up, Josh.
I said, let's get breakfast. It'd be a cool thing.
We would have done that
You guys
anyway.
were like, let's get lunch without Josh.
We didn't conspire. We went to bed at like 4 in the morning, and then we woke up at like 1 in the afternoon.
All I hear is excuses.
That's all the truth.
Excuses.
Evidence.
Excuses.
Alright, well.
Regardless, I worked on Tuesday, came home, watched the fucking debate, the debate.
How was that?
It was
the debauchery.
There was a lot of debauchery.
The literal debauchery.
So, it's already a laughingstock on social media and whatnot.
I woke up with nothing but new debate memes.
Yeah, the turnaround time is super quick, and it wasn't actually a bad debate. People of course, like to bring out the highlights. I don't think anyone won, but I don't think anyone lost.
Well, it's like 3 rounds or something, right?
This is only the first one, but there was no clear okay, this person spoke better than the other because they were just.
Well, they both have dementia.
Joe, he actually doesn't. He is still pretty smart. He just has a stutter, and that's why. I didn't know this. So
Does he really have like a legitimate stutter?
He had a stutter as a kid, and he fights it all the time. So when he stops speaking, he's trying to stop the stutter from coming back.
Is it a stutter or a stammer? Because I think they're...
It's a stutter.
Okay.
Because I guess sometimes I was reading this article. It was an interview.
What about when he's just completely incohesive?
It's probably his stutter. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I just read an article. Don't attack me.
I'm just asking questions, bro.
I triggered. But it was really just Donald Trump talking over Joe Biden, and Biden being like, can you just
Can you shut the fuck up, man?
Yeah, he was just like, can you just shut up? And everyone was saying that Chris, the fucking mediator, was partnered with Joe Biden. They were attacking them, but
well, Trump, he was laughing at all of Trump's jokes. There was like a pull-out joke or a finishing joke about
yeah,
and the mediator was like,
but everyone's saying the mediator from Fox News was teaming up with Biden to silence Trump when Trump was just being a child and just talking over, and that's the mediator's job, is to so they're supposed
fucking mediate.
They're supposed to have 2 minutes uninterrupted, and then fucking one of them each time would say something. They would say one of them would throw a jab, and the other one was wrong or not true. That's not true.
Wrong.
And then he'd be like, can you just 2 minutes?
Wrong.
Can you not fucking just shut up?
Beautiful world.
Just shut your mouth. And he was trying to keep the order, but he did it to both sides. He told Joe to be quiet too. But he did it mostly to Trump because Trump just kept fucking going.
It's like the one kid in class who just always interrupts. Of course the teacher's going to say, sit down, shut up.
Yeah, and you can't throw him out.
Yeah, well.
But something that kept getting brought up that I thought was super interesting was, so Donald, he's a very proud person.
No shit.
He's very proud. He's very proud of his accomplishments with his business, with his life. He, pretty much success story, really. Came from nothing, I guess. Got a small loan of $1 million.
Just a small $1 million loan.
Just a small
from my father.
loan of $1 million from his dad. Started this great business empire. Most of his businesses failed.
I know a lot about steaks.
But apparently he's a billionaire. Cool, and he's also the president, which is a pretty fucking good accomplishment, too. Just on paper. Wouldn't it be,
Don't do this. Don't bait me. Just tell your story.
Just to achieve the... just to achieve presidency is a pretty prestigious thing.
I don't think so.
It's getting a lot of votes. Someone's got to agree with you.
With a lot of fucking dumbasses who don't know what's going on.
Sure.
Just tell your story.
Okay. Well, so he's a very proud person, and he kept saying, I inherited this terrible economy from Obama. I inherited
So I gave it a disease.
I inherited this terrible healthcare plan. And just I inherited garbage, essentially, is what he was saying. And
I built a wall.
And Joe's like, no, the economy was okay. We inherited it from one of the fucking from whatever Bush did.
If you're gonna keep pointing fingers, it all goes back to George Washington. Listen here, you little fucker. George Washington, you piece of shit. You fucked us, okay? You fucked the whole world. You fucked America. Impeach George Washington.
Dig him up. But, yeah, really, like, Trump would say, I inherited this. Biden was like, hold on. We inherited this, and we tried to do our best in a short amount of time, because it's probably super hard to get shit done in any sort of political office, because there's so many different fucking people it has to go through, and there's voting, and not everyone agrees on everything, of course. That's why there's two parties, and that's why they're so divided. And it just really made me think, like, okay, well, even if Donald Trump doesn't get reelected and it does become Joe Biden's problem, he still only has 4 years to either expand on whatever Trump has done or reset and redo everything. And then it's just essentially 4 years down the shitter.
Because nothing happened.
Because nothing happened. Because you're either trying to rebuild.
But if he does a good
ideas.
job, ideally he'll get elected again.
Ideally, but then you still only have 4 years, and you hope your successor can keep doing what you are doing.
Not really your successor, more along the lines of a replacement, right? A successor
that is your
something-
successor.
Yeah, but like I feel like a successor has a like positive connotation of like I trained
Successor
this
is just
person, they
someone
worked
who
with
passes
me.
you.
I mean, I guess. I just feel like it's a weird thing, right? Because like at the end of the day, they should be doing what's best for the country, right?
Sure, they think.
But they're doing what's best for the party. So it's always going to be a back and forth fucking sissy slapping match between two 70-year-old men.
I just thought it was super interesting that they kept blaming the past, which really
they are the cause of.
There was no debt owed with, I believe, Bill Clinton. He was the first president to
Clear the debt.
Erase the debt. And then so really, after Bill, it went downhill.
Bill.
Because then we got into massive debts. Granted, I wasn't around at that time. Came a little bit later. A little bit after that, and then 9/11 happened, and then, okay, we're getting this...
Then everything changed.
Getting a really long war, and then, okay.
Still in it.
We get Obama. Okay, we get Obamacare. Okay, we get Trump. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Then we get Corona. Oh, my God.
Then we get a wall.
And now we get a new president, and it's like, okay, well... They're gonna say, and after these next 4 years, whoever is president is gonna be, I inherited... That's assuming Trump loses.
Corona's going to be the next 9/11 excuse.
Trump actually brought up swine flu and Obama and Biden's handling of the situation. But swine flu wasn't as deadly, so you can't really compare it. It's also not the kind of same disease.
Did you hear about the Chinese scientist who claims that she has proof?
That's fake.
Is it fake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw the meme, and then I saw the memes following that, which were funny, but that'd be crazy, right? If we ever found out it was
genetically engineered.
A leak or... Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, there's
I do too.
There's the underground bunker that has, like, all... I mean, that's how vaccines are developed, but it has, like, every strain of every deadly disease ever.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is truly
That's
eradicated.
what I would bomb.
Because, I mean, that's how they develop the vaccines, and that's how they study them, and I mean, they all still exist. Like, it's just in a lab somewhere in the Arctic.
Yeah, those
also
are crazy.
like the seed vault.
That's so fucking cool. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's in Antarctica or something. It's somewhere. It's snowy. It's like,
yeah, it's in a fucking bunker.
Just imagine a giant like airplane bunker, and it's like every seed of every plant in the world is there, and they give you instructions on how to like,
just in case,
how to plant it and like
care for it.
Redo life like from the beginning.
Just in case. Whoever set that up is fucking smart. Like, props to them.
Well, paranoid as fuck, but like also like, yeah, like how crazy is it that someone
just to
like,
have that foresight and just be like, okay, like just in case anything fucking happens, we need a backup.
Mm-hmm. No, that's exactly what it's like. As a fucking Windows partition on your hard drive, being like, all right, if I want to scratch this all from shit, let's say let's say this hard drive gets a virus and everything gets corrupt. Fucking let's get a clean slate going.
Nuke it.
Scorched earth.
Yep. I don't know.
Answer the phone call.
I don't know anybody
Answer the phone call.
in Redondo Beach. I'm gonna
I know
answer it and
somebody.
it's gonna be silence. Hello? It's 10 seconds of silence. Every spam call I get from California is just silence.
I feel like
If I get a spam call from Arizona, it's fucking actually something.
a lot of it's automated now, so I'm betting it just waits till it rings out and then just leaves a voicemail.
Fucking, I got a spam call and they left a voicemail, but it started early, so they had to reset it, and they reset it in the voicemail.
I've seen that it loops, yeah.
Not even it looped. Like, they said 2 words, and like, oh shit, and they reset it, and they said the same 2 words.
You heard them be like,
Well, they didn't. I didn't hear them say it, but like I heard them like
they realized,
reset
oh
it.
shit.
Yeah, it's like they were too early.
That's fucking funny.
Just fucking retarded.
Wait till the beep. Play. Shit. Restart.
So, yeah, I mean, I just thought it was super interesting that they kept like saying, "Well, it's your fault. I have to do all this, and I can't get much done." But it's like, okay, well, it's not my fault. It's this person's fault. So it really just keeps stacking.
You guys are pussies.
And
Figure it out.
Like 4 years isn't a lot of time to have a lot of disagreements with hundreds of people and try to like actually work to get something done. So I mean,
It's also not all the president's job, right? Like,
yeah, that's why the hundreds of people come into play.
yeah, exactly.
Or
So
senators.
you can't say it's the president's job. It's the people elected in Congress and the House and everything else. Those are the people fighting the president for the people's wants. The president's really just like commander-in-chief and the face.
He's the general manager.
Yeah, he's the general manager, but I mean, the real people who get shit done are the ones in the House, or the state representatives, the
Mhm.
people who are elected to represent the state, not the president.
Yeah, and that's why people are they're in the last.
But he's not going to do what's best for your state or you, because
No, 100%.
that's not how it works.
That's why the last couple of years, the last couple of elections, people have been more like hammering on like vote for your senators,
Yes.
vote for your local city members.
Yes.
It's like,
There's an election coming up too, for the state. What's going on there? They're like getting like governors. Yeah, we're getting like new governors. If you want a new governor, fucking vote for a different governor.
apparently recall Gavin Newsom.
You don't really need to, but
people protesting that.
people wanted him out, I guess.
I think he's done okay. I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know enough about any of this, man.
I don't know much about state government.
I have no opinion aside from I think everything is stupid and they're all wrong.
I was watching the debate with my dad. Like, he watches the news. And of course, like, fucking old people pay attention to this shit because it affects them the most. And kids we kind of just roll with it. Like, oh, taxes went up. I didn't notice. I just have less money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. And like, every time Trump would say something, he was like, he did not do that, or like, no, like, he didn't do this, he did that.
Wrong.
Yeah, politics is politics, and I have no place in it. I am not qualified to make any judgments on it.
But we all have the power to vote, which is, I mean, don't say you're not qualified. Obviously,
yeah, but
you are qualified.
Your
I'm
vote
just
essentially does nothing, for at least for presidential votes, because of the electoral college. I don't know if that works for senators or governors, but
probably not.
the electoral college ruins everything. Because your vote essentially doesn't matter for presidency.
They're all just a bunch of butt sniffers.
A bunch of B-nows.
There's just a bunch of B-now lickers and sniffers up in that house, you know. Let's call it the brown house.
Paint it brown.
Because all they do is fucking sniff B-nows.
Get one of those fire response airplanes that dumps all the water, but fill it with brown paint. And then try to fly it over the White House with no fly zone.
See how well that works for you, buddy.
And get shot down.
You need like an army. You'd get shot down in like a minute. And here's the crazy thing,
That'd be
right?
so fucking crazy to see if you live in D.C.
Here's the crazy thing, right? Imagine even flying over the White House in general, right? Just anyone in general. what that entails is the White House would have to radio your plane and say, "Hey, you're in a restricted airspace. If you don't turn around, we're gonna shoot you."
DC has an airport.
I know, but
How far away is the airport from the White House?
I don't know. But there's
How big is DC? These are all the questions
I don't know.
we need to ask.
But buy a map, Google it, man. I don't know, but there's a certain area where it's like they warn you, and then there's an area where it's like they don't warn you, they just shoot you down.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty wide area since 9/11, but I think it's going to be one of those things like you need like a fleet of those planes, and then they just shoot one down if they saw like if they saw more than one plane on a direct path toward the White House, they'd shoot them all the fuck down.
Washington's DC is 68.32 square miles. Not that big. New York is 468 square miles.
New York City or the
New York as a state.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so,
not big at all.
So it's roughly the size of
It's the size of like
5 New Yorks.
3 cities.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
It is really small.
So, I mean, depending on how far away the airport is from the White House,
well, you got to figure how fast can an airplane travel, right?
pretty fucking fast.
So 200 miles an hour.
It's pretty fucking fast.
That's really fast. So they got to give you that radio message within
Early.
within like another state. And then if you cross that border, bro, and they're like, you are definitely not landing at the Washington airport.
Yeah, it's like, what are your intentions?
Yeah, and they're not gonna fucking care.
Yeah.
They're gonna fucking blow you down. Yeah, you have 60 miles to go literally take a shit on the White House with some brown paint. Good luck.
Hope you're fast.
That's the thing too. It's like
Want to hope, but
I hope they miss. It's like when they did the Pearl Harbor. They did a huge ceremony. The people who were flying the planes for Pearl Harbor, they were held in such a high esteem.
Japanese soldiers?
Yeah, they were like given a huge feast and like a just a celebration in their honor.
So it was going to be their last.
Because they knew it would be 100% their last day.
They only had enough fuel to get there.
Yeah, and that's insane, man. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, but then they got their shit rocked, so...
Well, here's the thing,
Was it
too.
worth
They
it?
probably did that, and they're like, shit, we need some more air support. And they're like, well, we just... Okay, so funny story.
There's
We
all
just
their air
crashed like
support.
20 of our planes into some boats. Why would you do that? We wanted to surprise them.
To make wide eyes get mad.
Yeah, exactly. They're the white devils. But it's one of those things, it's like, you can't operate on that. They probably found that out real quick. They're like, oh, as cultural as that was, we can't win a war if we just keep
Just
yeeting our soldiers and all of our expensive airplanes into boats. Fun fact, that takes time to build the airplanes and train the pilots, and then goddamn, imagine having to like,
That's a lot of resources.
imagine to brief them and talk them into being like, hey, so how you doing? Do you want to crash a plane into a boat for the last time? Like that takes That takes years of like just brainwashing probably. I couldn't imagine.
Well, Japan's very, like, at least back in the day of fucking feudal Japan, it was really big on honor and not being a...
Die on your sword.
Yes, so, I mean, like, if they weren't, like, so they were really...
That's called propaganda, homie. That's the whole. That's
Like, yeah,
that's the whole
sure.
pawn mentality. The whole. You have to die as a
It's
pawn so the
same
king
thing-
can survive.
It's the same thing as patriotism.
It's what I talked about in the last episode.
It's... So, like, instead of, like, being captured, they'd rather just fucking kill himself. Because to be captured...
Germany too.
To be captured is more dishonorable than to be, like, you're a disgrace.
That's just because they knew they'd like be tortured and talk. If
Yeah,
they were
that's a dishonor. You're a disgrace to your family. You can never show your face there again.
defect, bro.
Go to North Korea.
If I got captured, they'd be like, "Do you want to defect before I cut your balls off?" I'm like, "I renounce America. Can I keep my balls, please? Let's get this steam train rolling.
I'll join you guys. Let's go.
Let's go. Give me a gun. I will be 007, and then they send me back here, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, so no hard feelings, right? I had to do what I had to do. And then America would be like, go back out there. I'd be like, nah.
Pearl Harbor is really what got us into World War II. Like,
100%.
full involvement. So if they didn't do that, we probably wouldn't have joined for a good while, because all we did was just sell...
We joined super late anyway.
Not the end, but we cleaned it up.
I was saying, we joined at the end because we ended it.
Yeah.
Is the funny thing.
So, I mean, like, if Japan didn't do Pearl Harbor, then who knows how it would have turned out. Because all we did was just really give, like, supplies, munitions,
well, yeah,
and vehicles to
that's how
Allied forces.
Did really well in the economy. We just kind of sold weapons and shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? Alternate history. Get on that.
Do that.
Probably already have.
Do that.
History Channel's probably already done a special on that.
Yeah, Alternate History Hub is a really cool YouTube channel, but, like, you gotta figure, like, dude, even with infinite timelines, some of that shit's just not interesting to watch.
Yeah,
Like, you can only do so much with that.
It's all hypothetical.
Because it's like, what if Genghis Khan didn't change the human genome with all of the raping and pillaging he did? And then it'd be like, what if he did, but not in Africa? It's like, all right, that's not a fun hypothetical.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's... Especially because you don't have... Because this was so long ago, you don't have much to go off of besides of their history beforehand. And it's really just a forecast. And forecasts are often very unreliable.
Well, you can only get a few days out on a forecast, which is funny.
Yeah.
They say weather is super hard to predict because light poles. Damn. They say weather is super hard to predict because it's always changing.
Yes.
And that's what it is with business. The terrain is always changing, so it's one of those things you gotta always be vigilant, always be aware, because it's like I think there's like this myth, this story about the sands of Egypt. Like the wind blows and all of a sudden like a pyramid is covered, and then the wind blows and a pyramid is revealed, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like some sort of myth around that, and it's like
the library in Avatar.
Yeah, exactly. Like the hidden library. It's like one of those things. Like you'll only find it if you're always looking for it, because it's always essentially moving.
You'll never find it if you're looking for it.
In business, though, I mean, it's one thing to be like, "Hey, look, true, right?" So business, at least until 2020, was like every year we have these numbers, we have this formula. 2020 hit, and they're like, "We have a virus. What do we do?" And everyone's like, we don't fucking know. But the next pandemic, you better believe they're going to be like, all right, well, this is how we do it. This is how we handle it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the approach, because they don't have the data set. But once they have the data set, it's like referring to a precedent in a court hearing case. Like, oh, you murdered your spouse? Jail. You know? Oh, you did this? Jail.
Yeah.
Why? Because every time someone does it, we send them to jail. Yeah. There's like hardly ever a good enough reason, because the precedent was set. Mm-hmm. So once you set that, is it precedent? Precedent?
We talked about. I mean, we didn't talk about it. We went over it in business law.
Yeah.
I kind of missed that part, but.
Well, I think I'm just like pronouncing it wrong.
No,
I said president one time, and they're like, it's precedent. It's like, all right, well now I got to focus on fucking saying that.
I saw the word in the module, but I didn't look at the module. But I know what it is.
The precedent is just saying, we said this the first time, and we're saying this every time until we have substantial evidence to change our decision.
Yeah, which is super fair, because I mean, murder is really all the same.
It is one of those things that is a little more black and white, but it's also this. The precedent now is that, what do we do in a pandemic? We don't know, but 10 years down the road, the pandemic's gone. Hopefully, you know.
Yeah, because I mean,
we figured that out. There's a new sort of SARS-3 outbreak, and eventually it'll be like, well, is it coming from China? What's the precedent? Third strike, go to war, or just kind of hunker down and wear a mask and do business outside. That's all you can do.
Close the borders. No travel. You're locked.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. The precedent is being set right now based on how we handle it. So try and handle it.
But I mean, we had swine flu too, back in 2006. 2008.
The idea behind the swine flu was that it wasn't as the craziest thing about COVID-19 is that how transmittable it is. They're not saying it's bad because it's deadly. They're saying it's bad because it's super transmittable. The issue is
respiratory.
Yeah, the issue is that it can transmit so easily that the whole population can be infected, and it'll take out the weaker genes or people who aren't able to fight it.
That's what we need.
Regardless,
Oh shit. Oh my fucking. How did I not see this earlier?
population control.
Yes. Thank you. Finally.
That's what you've always wanted.
Yes. I support it. Corona 2020.
And isn't it funny that like China is the one who's like, here's some population control. We have
Shit.
1 billion people.
I want to buy a wife now.
Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but yep, forgot what I was saying. It's gone.
Sorry. I watched this YouTube channel. It has nothing to do with what we've been talking about. It's called The Lock-Picking Lawyer, and basically he shows you how to pick and break locks. All kinds. Super fucking cool if you want to steal shit, I guess.
I love lockpicking. It's like an adrenaline rush.
He does it in like 30 seconds. He's like, okay, well, I have this.
It's hard.
I have this lock model XY220. I'm gonna try and figure it out. And
Yeah, their job is to like get new, like it's the same thing as like being like a hacker, right? If you're a hacker, they release the update, and then your job as a hacker is to hack the update. It's not to do the old shit. It's always to do the new shit.
yeah, like people will send him like puzzles or locks and shit. Like, hey, inside of this box, there's a bottle of liquor. You can drink the liquor if you record yourself opening this, if you can. And he does it in like 2 minutes. And like, well, fuck. But I think it's super interesting because there's this one video where he showed off his top 10 most difficult lock keyways. And like the top 2 had like, you know, like when you look at like a key lock, it's like kind of zigzaggy. These had fucking curves in them.
Nice.
It's like, because if it curves, it's really almost impossible to get a lockpick in there and push the pins.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what the fucking key looks like, because he only showed the lock way, the hole. I want to see what the fucking key looks like.
Well, it's probably the same as far as like the teeth, but it gives it the curve, so
it comes out to the side. You got a wide little key.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking
It could also be
weird.
like a downward one, like if the teeth were on the bottom. If it was like, just imagine like a candy cane shape. If it was on the bottom, the teeth were on the bottom, it would push pins down, which would push other pins up.
Yeah.
So it'd still function the same. It would just be, you know, more thought out in the sense of it needs more resistance to go down to push them up.
Yes.
And it's like, it's just harder with a lockpicking set.
But
even then, it's going to be one of those things like, oh, it doesn't work with a lockpick?
Sure. Yeah, but that's not...
Like, there's always a way to... that's the thing. There's always a way to figure it out.
That's not fun, though. Just break...
Sure, of course
anyone
not.
can break a lock.
It's not
It's the
artistic
it's the point
enough.
of picking.
There's
the
no
lock.
artistry in it. There's no... What's it? There's no, like, pride in your work. But, yeah, I mean, there's... basically what I watched a video on, like, TED or something. And basically what hacking is people... They call them attacks on a server. And what they do is they just get like 50 smartphones or 50 computers, cheap computers, 50 cheap smartphones, and they just
flood it.
Flood it with...
That is direct denial of service attack.
Yeah, DDoS.
Yep.
And it's all it is. It's just they just flood it and it crashes it, and then when it crashes, it's like
You're wide
you
open.
backdoor it. And like that's all hacking still is like how much can we flood this one server before it quits and do that.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what a lot of it is. It's just overwhelm the system. It's like it's a classic tactic of war. It's like just have superior firepower and
Overwhelm.
then fucking charge.
Mhm.
Just go.
That's
it.
most businesses that have online presence use like third-party cloud-based servers.
Makes sense. Well, because it's another like pit stop on the way.
Yeah. Like Cloudflare.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the fuck that is. Like when Teespring went down and everyone was saying, hey, your link doesn't work. And I was like, well, nothing of theirs works. So.
Yeah. That's also super
they're broken.
Annoying too, right? Is because it's one of those things like, man, you should fucking not have this issue. That's what I'm paying for. Like,
I don't pay for shit.
I have something called like it's like Linktree, but it's different. It's for music. It's like if you click on my album, it'll say the album on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever your provider is, which is a really great thing because it's everything. If they click on it, and I just have the Apple Music one, but everyone listens to Spotify, they're not going to listen to it, 100%. But if I have everything there, all the main ones at least, they'll be like, oh, here's the one I use, click it, whatever. For a very long time, I released the album, and that shit didn't work. It was a failure to link. And I emailed the guys, and I paid for the service. And it wasn't a lot of money. It was like $7 a month or whatever, but I paid for it. And I was like, hey, this isn't working, and I don't know why, but it should definitely be working. And it was one of those things like, because I paid for it, it was one of those things like you don't really have the excuse to be like, oh, it was Instagram's fault. Because when I emailed them, I messaged them, they're like, I'll look into it, this and that. Gets back to me a month later, and he's like, hey, so it turns out there's an issue with Instagram's coding. And I was like, I don't pay Instagram to have the links. Like, whatever you guys are doing, like, that's what needs to be figured out.
Well, Instagram needs our links sometimes too. So I mean,
sure, but
that is an Instagram
but I'm paying a service to provide a link. They should understand Instagram's coding or whatever to where
but it's not the links
to where they don't have any. No, it's the company's fault.
Instagram, just their links sometimes don't work for small accounts. If you're not verified, they don't give a fuck. They're not going to do anything.
That's bullshit, and
that's not your company's fault.
That's bullshit. And if I pay for a service, they should be able to bypass it or have a deal with Instagram to make it work. Otherwise, it's just a shitty business model.
It's Instagram's fault. That's not your company's.
Still,
because Instagram eats my links.
All I'm saying, man, is if the second I pay for a service and that service does not work, it's like that's an issue. You have to meet the standard. You can't come to me and be like if I bought this mixer and every channel except for channel 9 and 10 worked, they'd be like, well, just use channels 1 through 8. I'd be like, no, I paid for the whole thing.
That's different.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's different in the sense of this is a physical product and that is a service.
You can't say this works. Like, okay, so the link works, yes. Just in general. You click the link.
It does not work in general.
You have this link. And it's not anywhere else. Here's this link. You click it, it takes you to a page, correct?
It didn't work on Facebook or anything.
That's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Saying it just doesn't work on Instagram, but that's completely different.
That's what I'm saying. They were saying, oh, there's an issue with Instagram. And I was like, no, it doesn't work on Facebook or Twitter. It was in all of my bios.
That's something you've left out.
Sorry, I left that out. But it didn't work on any website. And I was like, it should work. And they're like, it's an issue with Instagram. It's Instagram's fault. And I was like, but it doesn't work on anything else. It doesn't work. Why isn't it working? And they're like, Instagram's codex or whatever word they used. And I was like, can you fix it? And they're like, no. And I was like,
yeah, then that's a shit company.
Well, it's just a shitty service.
Yeah, that's a shit company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it with food because I think food is way too perishable. But like, imagine buying a beer and being like, this beer tastes dusty. I don't like it. Like, I'm still gonna drink the beer. But like, that's more culture than anything.
Your standards are too low.
That's culture.
Drinking dusty beer.
The beer
is fine.
You drink beer if it's cold and free.
Get over it.
Yeah. Who cares? But if you buy something, it's like you want it to work, which is why they have a customer service line. But if you buy it and it doesn't work, that's an issue. It's a big issue. I can't get comfortable today.
Why not?
My back hurts. I'm just.
Mine does too.
I think I slept wrong.
No, I slept.
I'm super fucking tight. I'm
nice.
like all. I'm in pain right now.
I did wake up in a shock today again, but that's because I had my alarm on. Forgot to turn it off, so I was up at 8.
When you wake up in a shock, is it like a? Do you always take? Because
it's not a gasping.
When
shock.
I wake up in shock, it's always a deep breath, like a gasp.
It's just my eyes are open and I'm ready to go.
Oh, like you're fucking like, let's go.
Yeah.
I've had a few of those.
That's my kind of wake up shock.
I've had a few of those, but it's more often than not. It's like I'm a little bit awake. I'm like, and I'm like, oh fuck, what was that? Oh, back to bed.
Yeah, I just had to locate my phone to turn off the alarm, which was underneath my bed. Don't know how it got there. Do you ever like wonder what you do in your sleep? Because sometimes
I've been told I talk in my sleep a lot.
Sometimes I've kicked the wall. I've actually punched myself in the face before. Like, I tried to record myself.
You're not you when you sleep.
As a kid when I would sleep.
You
but
have no control.
I didn't want to because I thought that I'd see ghosts.
If you saw a boogeyman standing over you.
Yeah. So like, as an adult, I probably would set up a camera and just like see what I do.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been told that I just talk in my sleep and snore, like, but like I say weird shit, like incoherent.
Would you record yourself sleeping?
Sure. It's here's like the nerdy part of my brain taking over. It's like I wouldn't mind recording myself sleeping. I wouldn't want that big of a file on my phone or a camera.
It'll be huge.
I wouldn't want to have to go through that. That sounds fucking awful.
It's a solid like 8 hours.
Here's the thing. It's like when you go to a bank or a restaurant and you see security cameras, no one's on them 24/7. They have people on them when it's like
they record a day at a time.
Super, yeah.
Or like a week out.
Well, it's like a week and then they save it for like 2 weeks and then it gets deleted automatically.
Yeah.
But essentially, they only refer to it like if someone was like robbed, they'd be like, hey, I was robbed and that's why the drawer's gone at this yogurt place. And they'd be like, what day? Wednesday? Okay. The whole drawer? What was your shift between this hour and this hour? What time do you... and then they'd sit down for like 2 hours, 3 hours to see the footage and that's it. They don't have it for like protection. They have it for...
just in case.
Like insurance. It's really like one of those things like... It's not going to stop the crimes. It's just going to be able to be like, okay, well, the employee didn't do it. I remember, too, at Pizza Rev, that was super weird, right? Because they had cameras set up, and then I was paying attention, and I was like, yo, all these cameras are in the back of the house. And there's one camera... There was one camera on the drawer, which, granted, I guess that's all you need, but...
There's 2.
Okay. But... There's 2 cameras on the drawer, and one time I got a text from my manager, and she was like, get back to work. And I was like, what? And she's like, I'm looking at the cameras remotely from my house. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yep.
Those cameras weren't for robberies. They were for the employees. That's way worse in my opinion.
They weren't there for employees.
It was because when somebody fell that one time claiming they were hurt, they had to recall the video footage to make sure. They wouldn't give her the workman's comp until they had the video evidence, and then the video evidence was
I was fucking there.
I know, but that's one of those things. It's like it wasn't there for the employees. It wasn't there for the robberies. It was there for the employees to make sure if they claimed they were hurt, they were actually.
It was a guest
hurt.
that fell, not an employee. So it's not.
It was an employee. I'll tell you off camera. But
I'll tell you about the guest one that happened.
I saw the guest when that happened. She hit her head on the.
She did not.
Okay.
She did not hit her head on anything.
But yeah,
she's a liar.
It was one of those things where it's like those cameras. Like you don't need a camera in the walk-in fridge or freezer unless it's like to be like, hey, I think the employees are gonna fake an injury and sue us.
They're only in the walk-in because people do weird shit in walk-ins, whether it be drinking or smoking.
still though, at the end of the day, like that's what it's for. Like the manager should be able to sense that. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't have to have someone do it remotely from home, off the clock. I'm assuming off the clock, but
Well, they don't always watch cameras off the clock. I can tell you firsthand. You've just had bad experiences.
I've had a lot of bad managers.
And I worked there longer than you.
Doesn't mean anything.
It means I've seen more.
Yeah, more shit, more bullshit.
Not bullshit. Like, after I left Studio City and I got robbed at gunpoint 3 times.
You weren't there for this?
No, I left before that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's actually when I stopped working there.
That's the crazy thing, too. I know I talk about this a lot, but, like, one of those things is, like, I never anticipated people, like, paying with counterfeit bills. And then you go out into the world of, like, just LA or Oxnard, and then everyone's paying with fucking fake bills all the time.
Yeah.
And no one checks for them. And you're like, no one's checking out here? Like, the place you should be checking for counterfeit bills because it happens so often? And it's just like, none of the employees give a shit.
Yeah, I feel even like when I'm helping on a register here, like a Target, and someone hands me like a 50 or 100 and I throw it up to the light, I feel guilty sometimes. But like, I mean, it's been ingrained into me to
You would not believe the things I've seen.
I mean, yeah, I've gotten.
Here's your tampons. Have a nice day.
I've gotten a fake 100 before at Pizza Heaven Studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Like,
Hell
someone
no.
accepted one and the watermark was just fucking, it was drawn on and it looked like fucking garbage. And I was like, first of all, who the fuck accepted this? Second of all, I don't want to talk to you right now because I'm going to fucking hit you. And like the same person brought in the same like shit drawn bill and I was like, no, like I'm not accepting this.
Yeah, you gotta go, dude.
Like, here's it back. I'm not going to keep it because you're just going to make a fucking scene. Which is like, you're supposed to keep the bill.
Yeah, you're supposed to. You're supposed to call the cops.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, hey, this motherfucker's paying with counterfeit money.
Keep the bill. Stay here. The police are on the way.
Sir, don't leave the store, sir. I did everything I could, boss.
Yes.
Did everything I could.
But they're like, I'm going to give you this back. I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to eat your food. Leave.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Yeah. I mean, if someone can't pay for their pizza, it's yours now.
It's already made.
Yeah. But I'm not going to throw it away.
That did happen quite a bit, huh?
Yeah. Or if like an online
That
order,
happened every day.
If an online order never showed up,
Yeah, that happened a lot, too.
it's yours.
It was all those, I think it was the Grubhub and Uber Eats. They never came to pick it up or whatever, but
I mean, we had a lot out in studio that were just never fucking there.
yeah.
Weird. How do you order something online and not just pick it up? How do you forget about that? You spent like $15
Grubhub and then-
on a single pizza.
I remember a few times, though, like the Grubhub people would cancel. They'd be like, this person's on the way to pick it up, canceled. This person's on the way to pick it up, canceled. This person's on the way to pick it up, canceled.
Because
And then it just kept getting tossed around.
when it was first rolled out and we got it in Camarillo,
There was like 6 people on bicycles.
there were no drivers.
Yeah.
So we never got a fucking order, and when we did, we didn't know what to do.
I was sure as fuck. I remember Amanda at the time delivered some of them. That was crazy. Really doing the most. But like,
Now you're closed.
now, yeah. So that didn't do it for you. That's one of those life lessons. Is just like, next time you have the opportunity to go the extra mile and drive someone their pizza, even though it's not your job, don't do it, because all it is really is a waste of time. Like, you might have got a 5-star review with your name in it. That's great, but at the end of the day, maybe your energy could have been put somewhere else to like keep the doors open.
Yeah. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. I mean, I'd probably like, we're going through new active shooter training at Target. So like,
What the fuck, really?
yeah. Just in case, you know, like they're redoing it, they're doing it again.
Are they redoing the store for like?
No, just the training. It's
Gotcha.
like the run, hide or fight. And I was like, I'll try to tackle. I know my way around the store. I know where all the
Fighting's always the last step.
It is. I'll put myself in a situation where if I can't run, I'll hide, and if I have
Hide
to,
in the kitchen section.
why?
There's plenty of knives.
See, you go to sporting goods and get bats. Or
Fuck that. Stop.
the knives, you have to, they're not fucking out. They're not open.
Open
You
one.
have to go through the packaging. I'm the only person with a razor. It's going to take time.
Then cut one open.
I'll just use
Or
my
cut
razor.
with your razor. Get a
Duh.
oh, dude, a box cutter would fuck somebody up.
Yeah, and I replace my blades.
Hell yeah.
There's nice.
You're like
sharp-
having a standoff. You're like, how many rounds you got left? He's like, you wanna find out? You're like, shink. You slide it up. He's like,
That's not target approved.
he's like, click, click. Oh shit. And you're like, it's my lucky day, bitch.
And I won't get fired.
Hell no, you'd be a hero. I think that's the one thing, bro. If there was ever an active shooter and someone killed that person, it's like, you're a hero. Like,
Yeah.
obviously you're allowed to kill someone whose objective that day is to kill as many people as possible. You're a hero.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like, we forgive you. It's
that's
like,
the one time murder is okay.
yeah, it's the warrior ants. It's like, you don't start the fight, you finish it. You know? You'd be a hero. It'd be fucking like, he's like cut to shit. Like, you like cut through the bone and everything. They're like, we weren't sure that was necessary. They're like, and then why'd you took him into the home decor section and put him in one of those plastic containers and put bleach all over him? Were you trying to hide the body like this never happened? You were really just trying to get everything out of the way, huh?
It's okay. I'm absolved of all my crimes.
And you're like, I save people, and they're like, you're right, but like,
I have amnesty.
this opens up so many more questions.
Nope.
Are you practicing killing people in your free time? You're like, no, just at work. Just when I get paid for it.
I know my way around my store very well. I'm pretty quick on my feet sometimes when I want to be, when it matters. And I'm fairly quiet if I move.
When there's a gun going off in the store.
I just need to take my keys off my belt loop. I'm really quiet when I move. That's why I actually have them on my belt loop, because people told me I'm too quiet. So
Someone ought to put a bell on you.
that's why they're there. I know my way around my store. I know where everything that can be used as a weapon is at all times. Your guard is never 100% down.
We need more people like you in the world, man.
The guard is never down.
Bro, to this
This
day.
matters.
To this day. I go to bars, not really, but like, even
You guys said, you and Chase, sometimes you gotta let your guard down. No, never 100% down. I was there, never down.
invulnerability to
Never.
others.
Nope. People will always hurt you.
Yeah.
Guard can be at 10%, but it's never all the way down.
I never said it was all the way down. I said it was lowered. You have to let it down, not
yeah, nope.
not 100% down, but it needs to be a wall someone can walk over.
Guard is never down.
And then the second you see someone come into a bar with a backpack, you're like, exit now.
Box cutter.
Box cutter.
Bottle.
Attack formation alpha.
Yeah, you gotta run through the drills in your head.
The training's gonna kick in.
I'm ready to go. At all times, I'm ready to go. In those scenarios.
That was always the scariest shit. The one time at that bar, man, this dude walks in with a backpack and he's quiet as fuck and he's clearly angry. And you hear one girl say, "Is this because I'm fucking your friend?" Or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh my god, this dude's about to reach in the backpack and kill all of us."
Yeah, I mean, running, yes.
Don't go to a bar with a backpack. Are you kidding me?
It depends. If you're on foot or you're on bike and you just got off work or something.
Don't have a mental breakdown with a backpack.
Yes, there you go. That's what you're looking for. But yeah, you should always run. Run in those, if there's an active shooter.
I did, bro. I got the fuck out of it. I'm like,
Exactly.
we're leaving.
Yeah, run. Don't stick around.
And then we came back 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the cops are here, probably because of the shooting." I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, there's a shooting in the parking lot.
Don't stick around to be a hero. It's not worth it. You'll probably die.
Let me bring this up real quick. Put a pin in your thought real quick,
I'll
and then
forget what I'm gonna say.
okay. How do you feel about the I forgot what it's called, let's say you see someone drowning. There's a law in place in some states that require you to go save that person's life.
Otherwise, you're just as responsible. For them dying?
Otherwise, you're responsible for their death.
Yeah. What do I think about that?
Yeah.
I mean, you should always try to help your fellow man.
I'm not a good swimmer. If I saw someone drowning, I would let them drown.
As long as you try.
No.
I mean, depends on what state
They
you're
would
in.
kill me. I would die. I would die trying to save them, and they would die.
You can't fucking swim?
I'm not a strong swimmer. I couldn't save someone from drowning.
Then call the police. That's your attempt to help. Duh. You not helping
I'm
is taking
pretty
out your
sure
phone and
the
recording
bystander effect, bystander law, whatever it is. I wouldn't record it, obviously. I think that's horrible, but
People do it.
I think the thing was like, even if you do call, like they want you to get involved. Like that's the thing. There's like a call for action of like, I forgot what it's called, but they want you to like, if someone's drowning, you intervene and you try to save them from drowning, or you're held responsible for their death.
If someone's drowning, I'd say 2 people jump in max. Otherwise, you just got too many bodies and you're all kicking each other.
Bro, I wouldn't. I couldn't. I know I couldn't.
I would do it. You get mad pussy after. Saved a kid from drowning.
I'd rather be in the store with an active shooter and a box cutter and make an attempt at that shooter's life.
Oh,
than
me too, 100%.
that. I'd choose that scenario over someone drowning and be like, "Help me!" I'd be like, "I can't swim." Maybe point a gun at me. That'll get me,
Yeah, because that just makes you look
activated.
That just makes you look like a loser. This fucker can't swim. And he's white.
No, and that's the thing. I wouldn't like shame them. I'd obviously feel bad. It's just like a matter of like,
That'd make
I
you
don't
feel
think
bad.
I don't think it's a good law. Yeah, I talk shit forever. I don't think it's a good law to say you have to do something.
But the something you have to do is not necessarily always jump in.
Sure,
It's alerting people who are like, where's the lifeguard?
Hey, he's drowning.
Yeah, where's the
You see that?
Call the lifeguard.
That's kind of the
over.
same thing as recording it.
It's not.
There's no lifeguard at a fucking park, bro. Someone trying to drown themselves in a lake.
Why are we I thought we were at a fucking public pool.
Okay, but there's
Or
no
the-
lifeguard.
or the ocean.
When was the last time you've been to a public pool and there's a lifeguard
Arizona
on duty?
every time.
When was that?
Fucking 20 years
Years
ago.
ago. Okay, 20 years ago. Yeah, lots of kids. They need lifeguards. If there's a fucking high school, we never had lifeguards on duty in high school.
There was the coach. That's all you need. Or the teacher, rather. They just happen to be
There's not even
coaches.
lifeguards at the beach anymore, bro. It's just fucking
Yeah, there are.
not the beaches I go to.
Then you're
All
going to
those
the
shits are closed.
wrong fucking beaches. There's still lifeguards out. They're all just 16-year-old white girls named Mackenzie.
Yeah, huh, that's weird. Shout out Mackenzie.
You can't just get a fucking
Dude,
red
a
lifeguard
16-year-old
sweatshirt
white
without
girl
being
cannot
up.
save me from drowning.
She can't even lift you.
That's my fucking point.
She could.
I couldn't save a grown man or a woman from drowning, and I don't think I could be saved.
Are you just saying you're not strong enough to do it?
I'm not a good swimmer.
You can't kick with your legs.
No.
How
Have you seen me swim?
How long can you tread water?
I don't know, dude. It's been a while.
Infinite amount of time.
Definitely not.
I mean,
I'm not a fucking video game character, bro. I don't sit idly by until you flick the controller. I'm not a fucking god.
I could tread water for a long time. We did.
You also thought you could run a mile faster than a fat Mexican, and that didn't work out.
I timed you and Ryan treading water at that apartment pool.
Oh shit, we still need to finish that.
Yeah, it was cut short.
What the fuck? That was so long ago?
Yeah, that was like fucking 8 years ago.
That wasn't 8 years ago.
6 years
Was
ago.
that 8 years ago? How long have I known you?
Well, let's see. I'm 24. I met you when I was essentially 18.
Essentially?
When I was
What were you literally?
17.
Alright, well, let's go for there.
I was an adult
I need an adult.
in a consenting
I need an adult.
in a consenting relationship with Alec.
Whoa. It was non-consensual. That was kind of the turn on for me.
Okay. Did you just openly admit to rape?
It doesn't matter. You just openly admitted to it not being, so we're cool.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
they cross cancel and multiply.
yeah, 2 negatives make a positive.
But yeah, that was a long time ago. At the apartment pools.
The Knolls. No, not the Knolls.
The one right off of Wilbur.
The Wiltern.
It was the one right off Wilbur.
Yeah, by the 7-Eleven.
Yep.
Fuck.
I used to live right there.
We've been friends a long time.
Yeah, we have. Since 2014.
At least, huh?
That's exact.
Well, 13. Because
Nope.
that's when I graduated.
Nope. Since 2014. Because I got my job senior year of 2014. That's when we've been friends. Since 2014.
But when you were a senior, you wouldn't consider... Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Chill, bro. Damn. Look at Josh. He's an angry drunk. He's like, we're not friends no more.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm not gay no more.
I like women.
Whamming, whamming, whamming. Shout out to you guys if you know what we're talking about.
I am delivered. Religion's weird though.
Oh, has it been an hour yet?
Yeah.
It's been an hour. I'm hungry. This
Well,
beer is not very good.
I have no food for you. This beer is actually really nice. I like it. I enjoy it.
It's really dusty.
I would love to try it on
It might
draft.
be the smoothie that you made earlier that's giving me that
It's
weird...
mixing with the rum and tequila.
Yeah, he made me a rum and tequila smoothie before, but...
With some triple sec. I basically made fruity margaritas, not margaritas.
Yeah, but it's making the beer taste super dusty in my tongue.
I had 2 smoothies before you got here,
Burp.
and this tastes great.
Your
There's
burps smell good.
There was also
Your
like
burps never smell good.
No, it's just they usually smell like hot dogs.
They do smell like hot dogs, and I want hot dogs for lunch or dinner.
Let's
have a feast of hot dogs.
There was virtually.
Let's have a weenie roast.
I'm down, dude. Buy a 48 pack.
Fucking let's go.
There was virtually no alcohol in those smoothies.
Virtually none.
Yeah, I put like nothing in it. I made the whole pitcher full.
I'm not a geologist, man. I'm just saying.
That's a solid like 42 ounces. Not even. It's a 70-ounce blender. I put 2 shots of rum, a shot of tequila, and half a shot of triple sec in there.
Okay, I'm not saying it's the alcohol. I'm probably saying it's probably all the other shit in the smoothie that's making it taste dusty.
Fruit powder and ice.
Yeah,
and
it's
water.
probably the fruit powder I'm just retasting.
My Kenko smoothie mix.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Kenko. I just canceled
Oh,
my
fucking
subscription.
dusty.
Because I haven't drank them in a while. I just have them piled up.
We need to barbecue something like hot dogs or...
Well, I get to fix my car when my dad gets home, whenever that is. He got home at 6 o'clock yesterday.
So we got plenty of time to go get food. And then we can make him some fucking hot dogs. Your family loves it when there's extra food.
He does like hot dogs.
Let's do that.
I bought him pizza yesterday.
Cool. Where'd you go?
I got toppers. That was my debate.
Toppers.
That was my debate food for my good entertainment.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I love sitting down with a good meal to watch something, but I couldn't watch fucking the debate.
There's another one in October. Next,
Fucking
like a couple
tomorrow.
weeks. A couple weeks. Debate number 2.
I don't care.
I think you should watch them.
I'll watch them with you, but I'm not gonna watch it on my own time.
Come over.
We have to get a lot of food. It has to be a fucking
I ordered
feast.
fucking pizza.
It has to be a feast, bro. It has to be
ordered
something big.
A pizza for me and my father, and my one pizza for my dad or my mom.
2 dads.
You heard it here first, guys. I have 2 dads.
Hey, man, both of my dads are cops. You better stop making fun of me.
My ex-uncle's a cop.
Nice.
He's a canine cop. And see
Mark.
that.
Cool. Could you imagine, like, picking up a chick on a bar? It's like, what do you do? I'm a cop. Ooh, that's a hard job. Yeah, I also have a dog with me. Is that your partner? Yeah. What's his name? I call him Air Bud. I don't know. What's a cool cop dog name?
Their names were Dax and Gino.
Dax is a badass name.
Yeah, Dax was the best dog that they had. Because once he retired, like, he got to be in their home, like, their own pet.
Yeah.
And, like, he was so cool. Like, this just black German Shepherd.
German Shepherds are wonderful
He
dogs.
was the sweetest dog. So nice. And then he got too old and had to get put down or something.
That's sad. Let's not talk about dogs time.
Marley and me. It's the first movie I ever cried in, and saw it in theaters with my whole family.
Josh, are you crying? No, I'm not.
Yeah. Owen Wilson.
Wow.
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 I do it really good.
Wow.
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 Let's just do this for another 10 minutes until everyone closes.
They close after 10 minutes.
Yeah, no one's made it this far. Wow.
The watch average on episode 39 with Chase is like 27 minutes. That's the average. And that was 3 hours.
Hey, man.
But that's just the average. So people may watch the whole thing. And
There was probably 1 or 2 people who watched the whole thing.
some people click on and then click right off.
Yeah.
So you never know.
You never know.
Well, I mean, I guess if we have nothing else to talk about.
You never know. Well, I have notes, but I just want to go eat. This is...
Okay, so
We're sputtering.
once again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. If you like this podcast, if you like our show, if you like what we do, consider subscribing, consider downloading this podcast, consider just following it on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever the fuck you consume this content. Share it with a friend if you have the same kind of humor or ideals that we do. If you guys want us to drink anything, there's a link to our website in the description with a box you can click on and pay for us to drink something. I'll put your name here and the "you name here" sign, and we'll drink literally whatever you want.
Don't say
to
that,
drink.
because if someone's like, gutter water, I'm not drinking it, bro.
Literally whatever alcoholic beverage you want us to drink, we will drink. There has to be alcohol in it. We're not just going to drink
Cyanide and alcohol, go!
iced tea. But it's an alcoholic beverage show. This show revolves around alcohol, so we're going to drink alcohol. I keep passing my beer back and forth over the thing.
Can't decide.
I don't know what's going on. I'm ending the show.
What do I do with my hands?
Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Fuck!
You're so late sometimes.
I don't know when you're gonna end it.
Thank you guys for